And we are live. Welcome to Talkin' Art. We have today, our guest is Mark Myhaver, who has been a photographer for 30 years, Mark?
No, over 50. Over 50, really. I picked up a camera at 6 years old, and it was over 50 years ago. So
Okay, you're giving your
there was a
age.
lot of time when I wasn't making a living out of it. Yes, in fact, there was a lot of time when I kept myself from making a living out of it because I was afraid I was going to lose the fun of it
Mm-hmm.
doing that. So
I
anyway,
can understand that.
I did make my living at it for about 20 years, and back at it again.
Well, today we want to discuss social media and how that looks for today's artist. And before I start, let's do a little bit of housekeeping first. I want to send a shout out to Tom Coleman. You can find him on Twitter at Tom__Coleman, Coleman. Without his encouragement, I would never be doing a video one, I promise you. So thank you very much, Tom. So we're going to discuss social media and how that looks to today's artist. Mark shared a blog he wrote on social media and how he views it and perceives it. And that blog led me to remember a study I read that was by, I've got to look at their names, Hudo, Yardi, and Gilbert. They were from 3 different universities, and they collaborated on a study on Twitter. Now, they came up with 7 results that will increase your following. And reading those results, I think that they are good for any social media, not just Twitter. Mark, you want to say something about the blog and your post and where people can find it and whatever?
Sure. The blog is, you can find it. Easiest is just go to myhaverphotography.com. You can see it on your screen there, I believe. And click on the blog button, and it'll take you to the latest blog, which is about sharing on media, really, and the power of sharing on media is, I think, what I titled it, something like that. You can also find it blog.myhaverphotography.com. But just go to myhaverphotography.com. Click on
Okay.
the blog button. You're there. Yeah.
That sounds great. Okay, so what this study did, they took 507 Twitter followers, and they followed them for 18 months.
Wow.
And like I said, these are the 7 things that they found that in Twitter seem to guarantee an increase in followers. And my interpretation, I think if we were to use some of these social niceties almost, that we would find our followers increasing, across social media networks, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, everywhere. The first one is this one sounds almost like duh, to avoid negative and sarcastic remarks. I personally will not follow someone who is a habitual negative. How about you, Mark?
No, yeah, absolutely. I feel the same way, very much. And the sarcasm bit, and I can be a little bit sarcastic sometimes, hopefully in a humorous way. I got to say, I recently, in a direct message from a new follower, about a week ago, I kind of sent back a rather flip answer and regretted it right afterwards. I don't know, so much sarcasm. It was just, it was great. He asked me, basically, what are you all about? And I real quickly sent out, I said, geez, if you don't know, you're not paying attention. And afterwards, I thought, oh man, that was nice. It wasn't that nice. I don't think he's following me anymore. He probably just said forget it then. I tried to send a direct message afterwards, apologizing for that. And what I did is I sent, I wasn't able to, and I sent a tweet directed to him, just saying that hey, that was pretty flip. That was so we do things. We do things. I think of course everything's instant, with social media too. But it doesn't hurt to stop and think before you write or before you speak.
Well, and
But
on a lot of the social media platforms like Facebook or Google Plus, if you do make a flippant remark like that, you can pretty much edit it, and it may be seen by few, but not everybody quite yet.
Yeah, well, this was in a direct message too, so I mean, yeah, hey, but we gotta have fun with it too. At the same, but be respectful. Definitely gotta have fun with it. To me, and can I do what I was talking about? Just
go ahead.
Go on about that. I have something ready here. This is an image that I was working on this week. I've actually published a black and white version of it. This is the color version that I have not finished yet. It's I think I got a little tweaking to do to it, but I am right now. I haven't got it titled yet. So right now I am going to tweet that out. If I don't get an error, which I did, let's try that again. Let's see what I did wrong here. Doesn't it figure when you're live that you're going to have something maybe too long. Doesn't look it. Let's try that again. Okay, it's not gonna go. Forget it.
Oh man.
I don't know what happened.
Well, I have to show you how to do a screen share.
Yeah, I could do that too, but that's not going to be as fun. I wanted to do this, send it to Twitter, and it should. I do this all the time, every day, in and out, and it figures that right now. Let's just.
Well, while you're working with that, let's go on to the second one that they found, which was be informative. And that's not just being informative about you. That's kind of, you want to be informative and not me, 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 me. I call it the rolling billboard. You see one person, then all they tweet about is what they're doing. Eventually, it just fades off in the background and you don't even pay attention. So were you able to get that to work, Mark?
It's actually if you want to go to check my my Twitter profile, which is at Myhaver Photo, you'll see it at the top of my profile now, and it's just entitled "Give Me a Title," and the link goes to this video, this broadcast. Thank you, that we're doing right now. Now it seems I lost my screen for a broadcast. What happened here? Okay, there I am.
So, what are your thoughts about the me, me, me highway?
Yeah, and all of these things. I think that these 7 points are things that I have been guilty of not doing or going against, whichever you want to say, and I'm learning. I'm learning all the time. Let me tell you something. I'm somebody very new to social media. I've only been doing this about a year, really. I was someone that shied away from social media until I decided that I wanted to. It was time to start promoting my photography again. Yeah, you can go me, 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 and you can alienate people very fast, I think, without a doubt. I mean, yes, people want to know what you're all about, and that goes into I think one of the other 7 things you were going to mention, and putting a good profile out there. But you certainly don't want to be making it all about you or all about me. I don't. There's so many things out there that are of value. There's so much great content. If you want to gain followers, share that content, share that great content. And another thing about what I just said, gaining more followers. Don't make it about gaining followers. You know, if you're a numbers person, you're just out there uh, to gain followers. I'll tell you, there's very easy ways you can do that. You know, for a
Right.
price tag, you can buy followers.
I was about to say
I,
fee $39.95.
I am dead against it. You know, every now and then I send a tweet out because I'm getting badgered with, you know, spammers that are trying to sell you followers. And I say, you know, my followers are real people. I do not buy people.
Well,
Uh,
and I personally sit to wait to engage. I mean,
yeah,
I carry my phone with me, you know, during my working hours all the time because I want to engage with my followers. I want to hear what they're doing. I want to have a conversation with them.
right, right. I mean, again, it goes back to what is this? It's social media, right?
Exactly.
So let's be social. Let's be neighborly. Let's be nice, courteous, and kind, and yeah, reach out and get those conversations going. If that's what you're really, you know, there for is and it should be. I think. I mean, that's what social media is. It's social.
And I think sometimes, and you and I were talking about this in the green room also, I think people are afraid to share, you know, the love as it's put, you know, to retweet or to share a post that somebody has put out, or even to find a piece of content and share it, you know, fresh as a tweet yourself. I think people are fearful of that because they would be saying, well, that means my stuff's no good. Go look over at this person. And
Yeah.
I disagree with that viewpoint.
I totally disagree with that, and I've read things on exactly that. That people actually do feel that way. That, you know, there is a fear. There is a fear of, especially when we're talking artists here, and artists sharing each other's work. There is, and why they don't. I mean, and I see this, and I'm not talking about whether or not someone's sharing my work or not. Just forget that. Don't go there, because that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about, you know, I share a lot of work. I share a lot of other artists. If I see it and I like it, I'm going to share it because I'm excited about it. I like it. I want to share that with my friends and neighbors, with my social circles. You know, I want them to see that. I want them to get something out of it like I did. Why be afraid of it? People are afraid of exactly what you said. You know, for one thing, they can be afraid. Well, then they're going to be going to this and looking at this person's work and not mine. I found just the opposite. I've seen just the opposite happen when I'm sharing somebody else's work. Then those people are gonna see that. It might be someone I've not connected with yet, but somehow in social media we've connected and someone shared it, and I see this come across my feed, and yeah, that's great. And I share that.
Well, what I found when I was building my Twitter followers, you know, about the time when I contacted you, I was doing a 5-to-1 ratio. Sorry, 4-to-1 ratio. 4 tweets for other people and then 1 tweet for myself. And I found that worked marvelous. Of course, I'm a very scheduled, routine type person.
Well, see, and I'm not at all a scheduled routine person, and so I'm probably way over that. I hope. I got to a point one time where I was again, me. I was tweeting stuff out of my own work, overdoing it, way saturating my, you know, and I got the wake up call. You know, I just my gut was telling me that anyway. Then I read a book, like, you know, and that helped, just talked about a lot of these same things you're talking about, and it shook me up, said, hey, pay attention to what's going on, pay attention to what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that at the same time that I was doing that, I was building a lot of followers because I was also tweeting a lot of other people's work. Now, I've looked at my feed lately, and I think I've gone the other way, where the majority of what I'm tweeting, and even, you know, Facebook too, is other people's stuff more than mine. I'm comfortable with that. I'm fine with that. Again, people are then going to see that work. They're going to see you share it. they're going to look back at you. You know, especially it's good content, and you know, be your own best curator of content, folks. If it's should you be sharing everything that comes down your feed? Absolutely not. Good Lord, not. I mean, you know, this stuff that I wouldn't dream of sharing.
Yeah.
Part of that, again, in curating your own content, and you start gaining the right followers, the followers that are thinking a lot like you, that are liking some of the same things as you, and I've got the same kind of attitudes, and you start seeing in your own stream stuff coming in that is great content.
Oh, and actually what you're doing that way rolls right into our third topic, which is building your social proof and
Right.
the trustworthiness of who you are.
Credibility.
Exactly. And you want to start by, I won't follow anyone who has an egghead.
Yeah.
You know, change your profile picture. Update your profile. Link all your websites out there if you can. All of that.
What's the worst thing? Have an egghead and nothing there on a profile.
Exactly.
Okay. Who are you? What are you? You know, that's certainly a person. If you want to take the time, you say, okay, what are you all about? And I have done that occasionally. If as you call it, an egghead follows me, I might just send out, you know, something nicely, just saying, please share some content. Let me know what you're all about. You know, and leave it at that, and then we'll see what happens, whether or not I follow it. You know.
But you know, I see this cross-platform too, not just on Twitter.
Absolutely.
I see it on Facebook. I see it on Google Plus.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I'm the most active I am is probably, you know, is Twitter. Active on Facebook and more again on Facebook now recently than I have been for a while. I've got to get more active on Google Plus. I'm not very much in, so a lot of these things we're talking about, I can't say that I'm actually doing that much on Google Plus because I guess it's a time factor, and it's different for my mind these days to you know, keep engaged in all those different platforms. You know, I work on it, but Google Plus is, I think, one that I really need to focus some more time on, so I'm going to be trying to do that. But you know, you're right. All these things we're talking about, that blog, the environment, please read that post. It's about sharing in the whole aspect of it, and what it can do for you and for others. And as I've learned it anyway. I could be all wrong. Again, I'm fairly new to this. I tend to do things, I may have said this already, I tend to do things a little different than I see other people doing. But
Well,
I'm going to keep doing it because it's working for me.
and I think that there's a certain level across social media of experimenting. What works with your followers? What, you know, just because it worked for Gary V doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. You know, different personalities and come into play, and you got to know your own personality a little bit, I think.
You have to know your audience's personality as well.
Yes. And you know, I said something a few minutes ago about, you know, you follow people that are like-minded, is basically what I was saying. I wanna add to that. Don't be afraid to get out of that box and follow some people that might be thinking a little different from you too. There's a great quote someplace, and I thought I had saved it, and I tried to find it. I cannot find it. Please, if someone can come up with it, it says it much better than I'm going to. But it's basically, you know, if you're following the same kind of people that think the same way you do all the time, if that's who you're always listening to, you're not going to learn anything new. You know, you're gonna close your mind to, and man, I'm telling you, we can all learn a lot from each other. And so you know, don't be afraid to reach out there. And you know, I follow people a lot of times. I'll say, well, that's something different. You know, let me see what else they got to say. You know, and you might be surprised. You might learn something from it. I'd
Well,
say,
and there's a lot to be said on having good, healthy debates. Um, you're creating a controversy, which everybody knows that everybody likes controversy, but it doesn't have to be an ugly, negative, sarcastic
right,
controversy.
and there's a lot of that. So,
Yeah,
but right, it doesn't have to be. Yeah, yeah. You
but
keep again
um,
respectful. Be respectful.
now the one of the things that they came up with that I have an issue with is staying on topic, and my interest kind of bounced everywhere, which was uh, part of the starting of today's visions. So, for me to tweet only about art or only about writing, it's just not going to happen. I'm not going to stay on one particular topic. But I find that I have a lot of like-minded people following me, people who like to discuss a bunch of different topics. Do you stay primarily within the art field topic, or do you bounce?
It's something that I keep telling myself every day. I need to work on a little more to reach out a little out of those bounds of art and photography. I do have a lot of art and photography followers and writers, so creative people, I guess I would say, writers as well, that I
Mm-hmm.
follow, and that in turn are following me. Um, uh, Without a doubt, that's where my mind is a lot is on photography in particular, but in art. So, that's where I'm thinking.
Well, and according to this study, you're doing exactly the right thing. You should be primarily 80% of what you share should be within your topic, your niche.
Yeah, well, I mean that makes sense. For one thing, what else are you going to talk intelligently about except something you know about, Um, it doesn't hurt to branch out a little bit too. So, that makes sense. Find like 20% in there where you're delving into other areas. And music is another one that I tend to follow, though I guess I'm a little biased on what I follow when it comes to music based on my taste, and I have a wide variety of taste in music. Everything from, I mean, the blues is my favorite, to jazz, rock, you name it. But I'm a little, I just have not, the whole hip hop and rap thing just has never grasped me. Okay, I'm not gonna put it down. It's this. Um, I've seen some artists. Santana, fantastic musician to me, and I've seen him work with some rap artists, and some great music comes out of it. But that's just not my thing. So I don't tend to follow those types of musicians as much. Again, it's what kind of it's what I want to be to see in my feed. What I want to be, socializing with.
Well, we got
I just go
three
right
more
on topic there, or what? I don't know.
we got three more points I want to make, and we have 7 minutes left.
Yeah.
So the next one that they found that really helps increase your followers is to write well and to avoid hashtag abuse.
Yeah.
Now, hashtag abuse is where someone says, I hashtag want to see hashtag you, everything.
Guilty.
Hashtag.
I've done it. I've done it. Yes, you're absolutely.
I've done it.
I've done it, and I recently, when I stopped and decided, I mean, I'm getting up towards, by the end of the week here, I'm probably going to have 6,000 followers, which it may not be a lot to a lot of people. It's a lot to me. It's an amazing thing to me. But then you reach a point where you've got to stop and look. You've got to, relook at things. For one thing, it becomes very easy to, you start getting a lot, when the numbers are climbing for you, other people are jumping on trying to follow you because, they're in hopes of gaining followers, and again, it goes into that whole numbers thing, which is not, to me, what it should be all about. Pull me back in. What were we talking?
Hashtags.
The hashtag.
And writing well.
So, yeah, I got, again, one of the things I identify with, and with some help, was that, wow, wait a minute, I'm overdoing the hashtag thing. I'm way overdoing it. So, make it meaningful for one thing. hashtags are great. So
Well,
throw
they're
them
how
out.
people find you and find your
Yes,
content.
exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, one of the biggest hashtags I use with my original tweets that I send out, with my artwork is Myhaver photography. I've registered that hashtag. So, yes, it points to
Well,
Myhaver photography.
I would also think for artists, depending on their particular genre, they would want, fine art, hashtag art,
Art, yeah,
photography.
yeah, yeah.
But everything that I have read thus far, and if anybody out in the viewing world wants to correct me, I will be very happy to hear it, is that you don't want to go over 5 hashtags per tweet.
Yeah, certainly not. Certainly not. That's a lot. I think that's a lot. And again, yes, I have done it. So anybody wants to call me on that, you can. I have done it, but I'm trying to stop. I'm learning here, like I said, and so by all means, I'm ready to listen to anybody else. But yes, I agree. That's a lot. That's, to me, 5 is a lot. But I think it's again, if people follow hashtags. Then where are some of those hashtags actually sending them?
Mm-hmm.
They can maybe sending them totally away from what you had in mind, or what you were, the point you were trying to get across, or that your own images that you were trying to,
Right. Well, and the other thing, before you use a hashtag, you should always go out and look and see what other type of posts are coming up with that hashtag.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I
Yes.
think
I actually registered another one for a particular style of the processing I do to some images. I call it the Alt-State Originals. Is what it is in the galleries, because they originate from original photographs, and they, that I've done some very extreme manipulating in Photoshop and so forth. I was looking for a different name for that and a hashtag, and I did register the name Dreamscape. It was not registered, but I kind of went backwards and I did a search, after the fact, and there's a lot that comes up under that. So
yeah, there is.
I'm really not using it. In fact, I'll probably unregister because look at this debate, But and you're the one that actually helped me with that, with registering hashtags. I think that's a valuable tool. That's a very valuable tool.
I think it is also.
You got to be careful because, and I've seen this with the Today's Visions. I have blocked and reported spam probably half a dozen times in the past week. It was some spammers, and it was some X-rated spammers, that were putting that hashtag in. Why were they doing that? Because Today's Vision is getting popular.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, on one hand, that's a really good thing that people are beginning to use that hashtag. But I'm like you, I monitor it very closely.
Yeah, you have to.
We'll report any spam.
And that's another thing I learned. If you want a nice feed coming down in your own stream, you want, again, curate it. Watch what's coming in there, and man, don't be afraid to hit that block button. If there's garbage coming in there that you don't like, hey, block them. You know what? You might lose some followers. I might be losing some followers right now talking about, hey, you know what? That's okay. Again, I'm not out for the numbers. I'm looking for quality people. I'm looking for quality people that I can have relationships with and have some fun.
I read a post earlier this week or late last week that talked about building the width of your followers rather than the depth.
Yeah.
Because you're building relationships, you're engaging, you're actually concerned about who your followers are. And
yeah, you have to be. I mean, I think you have to. I am. I'm very much in, and it's my actual follower ratio to my following ratio has climbed just in the past week. Part of that is because somehow I've gotten, it seems like since I put that blog piece out, I've spent a lot more time with Facebook, and Twitter's taken a little bit of a backseat, so I'm not getting back to some of these followers as quick as I would like to, and I will. But it's also that I'm being selective.
Right.
I want, again, it's not the numbers. It's the width. You're right. It's the width. It's the quality. It's the quality of
exactly.
It'll make your life a lot more enjoyable.
We get 2 more points, and I'm going to breeze through those real fast because we are out of time. Be consistent, and by being consistent, you know, if you tweet Monday through Friday, then try to always tweet Monday through Friday. But don't be afraid to be bursty. You know, go ahead and send out 10 tweets in an hour.
Yeah.
That they're showing that works. And the other thing is to find a balance between targeted tweets and broadcast tweets. Now, broadcast tweets are those tweets that you just send out to anyone in the general public. And targeted tweets are those that I send just to one specific person or to a group of people. So an example of a targeted tweet might be, hey, Mark, I found this great piece of art. Take a look at this, where I'm sending out to you. And again, I'm saying tweet. I found when I read these that I think that they're social niceties that go across all the platforms.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and that's something that I need to learn a little more about is that you know, targeted tweets. I think and get involved with a little more. It's you know, I guess majority of mine tend to be more of the broader, you know, scale than targeted. You know, along with that, and this is an important piece when we back up a little too. We talked about, you know, who are you following? Who do you, and you know, we tend to follow, people that are, you know, things that we're interested in. One of the things that, and I've got to, this is one thing I know I have to look at, is, you know, you're trying to, well, first of all, is what are you even doing it for? I guess, you know, you kind of have to identify that.
You have to have a purpose.
You have to have a purpose, yeah. But are you getting to the right audience? So sometimes, again, in expanding who you are following, who you are, and again, you know, we're using the terms that I think are directed kind of to Twitter, but they mean the same thing. You know, you're friending with, or, you know, +1ing, whatever. It's the same stuff.
It is.
You know, it's broaden your scope a little bit, so that you're exposing people that aren't so much necessarily like-minded or into to what you're putting out there as well. Can definitely be a benefit to you. That's something I know I need to focus on. Yeah, I fall in the same habit of, you know, I see the stuff I like, and that's where, you know, where my mind goes. But, you know, again, you know, that whole sharing thing, and artists sharing other people's work, we can all learn so much from everybody else, from each other. And I learn things from other artists' work all the time. And I'm not the least bit afraid to say that there are some much better photographers and artists out there than what I feel I am. Without a doubt, there's some fantastic talent out there. But you can learn so much from them, and, you know, and I don't mean you start emulating them. You start, you know, you're taking, well, yeah, I like that. Maybe I'll try and do my things that way. No, you know, tune it to your own style, but you can enrich your style by looking at other talent. Okay,
well, we're gonna have to close for today.
Okay.
We are almost 5 minutes over.
Oh, really? Wow.
That's better than last week.
What's that?
That's better than last week.
Yeah.
So I want to thank everyone who joined us. And if you didn't get a chance to join us, I hope you're going to watch this on the replay. And we will see you next week at 3 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Bye, everybody.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.